It's late and I fell down a huge rabbit hole and now I can't go to sleep. So I'm just going to make this video just because there's a few things that I've realized as I've been doing some research when it comes to Fanatics, when it comes to pretty much everything that's involved with entertainment. But to put my 2 cents in on a lot of things that are going on, let's just start off with just kind of giving you an idea of where I'm at on this. PSA is going to be a very interesting situation from here on out. That's a completely different subject based on what I was getting ready to talk about. The WNBA, I don't know what's going on with that. And then also, I just wanted to touch on some things that I just did some research on that I was speaking of at the top of this when it comes to Fanatics and Silver Lake and everything else that's under the sun in there. So let me just start off with my 2 cents on PSA. I feel like the value option is no longer going to be available. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go away completely, but I have a feeling it's going to be longer than 6 months for people to get the value option back, just because I feel that the value option is now unnecessary. Recently saw a video Burbank Sports Cards, and when the One Piece cards came out for the Dodgers, everybody was in line to get that card graded. So at 170 or at $79.99 for you to get a card graded for the lowest tier, people are still spending that money. And since we're not on a united front and nobody is trying to stop spending so much money to be able to do this, PSA is still going to be seeing huge revenue coming in because people are not backing away from it. They're going more into it because they feel like, oh, now that nobody's grading their cards and we're still willing to pay the $80, I have a feeling Fanatics, or not Fanatics, sorry. I have a feeling that PSA is just looking at it as, oh, people are still willing to grade no matter what the price is. So what's the point of bringing back value? All this is going to do is just make it to where a higher clientele of people are going to be able to grade, and only those certain type of people are going to spend their money because they got disposable income. They think they're going to make more money off of the cards. Now, the one crazy thing that I think that is going to happen is that you're going to get people who are going to decide to continue to grade cards, and when they're not getting a 10, they're not getting the huge value that they would normally out of the cards anyways. So it's not really going to matter, to be completely honest with you. It's going to just turn into a situation where if they wanted to do it dirty, they could keep having people grade their cards through them not getting 10s on all their cards. So your return on investment is a lot less than what you expected. And then depending on where you sell it, or if they give you the option, which they normally do, to sell through the PSA vault, you're also going to be looking at any fees or anything else that's there. And this is not including the upcharges. So if the card comes back as a 10 and you put it in at $79.99, if you have any upcharges that come with it, you're going to end up paying way more. And who knows, depending on the card, what the price is going to be. So I'm hoping that PSA doesn't do people like that. But I do feel like the value option is gone bye-bye. Like, we won't see that for quite some time. There's going to be a long time before we even see the value options come back. And I'm kind of bummed about it. And I feel bad that there's going to be a lot of people who are probably banking on wanting to make a ton of money because they could have sent in a bulk submission and be able to get all their cards back and be able to, spend that money. But if they want to spend their $80 to get one card graded and then worry about upcharges, I find it kind of ridiculous, and I think that it's going to be a tough situation for them to deal with. I'll probably touch on it a little bit more when I come down with whatever else might be involved in that. This is just an insane time when it comes to grading, and the fact that people have not slowed down, which makes it even crazier because what's the point of going backwards if you're making more money by just keeping it where it's at? Now the WNBA, little 2 cents that I wanted to put in on that. You've gotten to a point to where you've made it to the top. You're starting to make money. You've made it to a pinnacle. Everything is looking good and going up. And I can't stress this enough, but that that rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark was kind of the big deal in that. Granted, I knew people who had no idea about the WNBA who could care less about it, but they understood that Caitlin Clark was one of the best players that was out there. And now with everything that's happening, I kind of feel like if Caitlin Clark were to quit the WNBA and go play in the European League, we're going to see a drastic change when it comes to attendance. The attendance is really good for a lot of the teams now. A lot of teams are no longer playing in high school stadiums or, having to take charter buses or like flying in the worst way. I don't know what they were doing. It was just not what they're doing right now. So I think, as much as you probably hate to see it, you gotta sometimes give credit where credit is due. I'm not saying she controlled all of it. I've been watching the WNBA for years, and I know that they have been slowly building their way up, but they've also been kind of on the negative end of things where they weren't making a whole lot of money, so it was very difficult to kind of promote. They were getting very many sponsorships. You had a few players who were getting those sponsorships, few players that had shoe deals, but it wasn't like the whole of people who are doing it right now. So WNBA, I'm hoping they can get it together, hoping that they can figure out this situation so they can make things better. But you are getting a lot of fans who have no idea what's going on with the WNBA. Pretty much they're just in it for the card game, just to pay attention to what's happening in there. And it all just goes back, it's all full circle. WNBA, Caitlin Clark, trading cards, other players, and then it's just one big circle of things. And so you're getting these new fans who have no idea about the WNBA, and it's only based off of what they can make off of the trading cards. It's kind of sad. It's kind of a bummer. If they were to lose Caitlin Clark, the trading card market for her would definitely peter off, and we would end up buying more cards for the European market, I have a feeling. And then there's just going to be a domino effect of different things that'll change. Not to say that there's players that aren't great. Kelsey Plum down in LA is doing amazing, and she's definitely worth watching. Asia Wilson, and not to disrespect anybody else, but there are a ton of other women who are great in the WNBA. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. That influx started with all these non-fans watching because of Caitlin Clark at a certain point. Not saying that there aren't great players. I got to emphasize that way more. Not saying that there aren't great players, but Caitlin Clark did kind of bring in a new clientele of people. Not the greatest reasons why, but a lot more people were paying more attention because Caitlin Clark was around. And this is no disrespect or to discredit any other WNBA player at all. But we'll see what happens. We're going to see what's going on here. So, to my main point, one thing that I've been doing is I've been doing a little research based off of Fanatics Fest, Fanatics, a bunch of different connections that are happening between everything that's going on with it. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the tickets for Fanatic Fest and also the autograph options or photo ops with different athletes and different players. Now, I'm not saying that all players are involved in this or all athletes are involved in this or all wrestlers are involved in this, but there is a good handful of people who are associated with this situation. So, Silver Lake Group, I think it's Silver Lake Holdings or Silver Lake Group, I'm not sure exactly what they're called. They have invested into Fanatics heavily. They are a minority, I believe a minority shareholder in the company. So there's a lot of money that's invested into them. Now, they own Endeavor, and Endeavor owns WME, IMG, TKO, and Professional Bull Riding, along with a bunch of other places. Now, WME is a talent agency that's run by the CEO of TKO, Ari Emanuel. Now, WME also has WWE talent as their talent through the agency. So I can understand why there might be a little bit of a connection between a lot of these players and a lot of these WWE superstars that are going to be at Fanatics Fest, because there's a whole big circle of things. Silver Lake's investing in Fanatics. Fanatics owns Endeavor. Endeavor owns WME. WME has WWE wrestlers as talent. So those talent are being hired for these shows. So obviously they're getting paid, and the money that they're making off of the autographs or the photo ops is going to be just a little bit extra of money in there, but I'm pretty sure that they're getting paid on the back end just to show up there. And then Silver Lake also owns, along with a couple of other investors, Electronic Arts. So they've got their hands in every little entertainment area cookie jar. Like, there is a lot of stuff that is invested in. I went down the list of everything. I've posted on my Instagram as well a lot of the stuff that they're involved in. And I'm going to do a little bit more deep diving and kind of get a little bit more information about what's going on. It's 4th of July right now, so things are still going off. People are blowing up all kinds of fireworks right now. But I'm going to do a little bit more digging because I kind of feel like all of this is connected to why entertainment in our life has been so expensive. IMG is a company that runs the events for different venues. After looking into that, like, there's also another one that's Oakview Group, which is owned by Silver Lake, which also does a bunch of events for different venues throughout sports. I think one of the teams that I saw on there was the Minnesota Wild. Another one was the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think there was some sort of connection to Madison Square Garden. So, like, all of this is starting to make more sense to me now that I've been watching this. It's starting to make way more sense because I'm starting to see that they're all connected. And not only are they making money in one field, they're making money in everything else. And it's all just one big group of money that's just circling around. The Rock is on the board for TKO. He's also a WME talent. So he's making money on top of money within the same world, within the same, group of people. It's a very crazy little ecosystem that's going on with them. And this was all information that I literally just Googled. Doesn't take much. I'm pretty sure it's all information that everybody is probably already aware of, but I just wanted to kind of step it out there and throw those things out there because I'm now starting to see why entertainment is getting so expensive, because these companies all have some sort of connection to it. There's some very weird stuff that is happening. I'm not saying that it's any level of corruption, but I do feel like one hand's helping the other, who's helping the other, and they're all connected in this. WME also has talent that works for Netflix. So now when you're seeing all of the same people who are doing different Netflix stuff, they do representation for podcasts and everything else. So there's a very nice partnership between Netflix and WME when it comes to talent being on Netflix. But yeah, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more deep diving into this. I'll be posting more of it onto my Instagram, and hopefully we can come up with a reasoning for why this is happening. This is crazy. All this stuff that's happened, like, I fell into this because somebody had brought up something about why Fanatics Fest tickets for meeting different athletes and different wrestlers was so expensive. And I was like, okay, you know what? Silver Lake is connected to them in somehow. So let's just go down this rabbit hole and take a look and see what's going on. So if you don't hear from me, then they've come after me. I'm kidding completely because I don't think it's really that serious. Literally, if it was that easy to find on Google, I don't think they're going to come after me for any of it. But it is one of those things that I'm going to look into a little bit further and kind of see the connections between everything that's going on, because if these companies are all connected in some way and we're now seeing why our levels of entertainment have been priced out for most, or have been priced to a point to where we all can't afford it, then we're all needing to kind of do a little bit of extra research. And I'll do it for you if you're not willing to do it, but just take a look easy as you can. Just kind of go like, is Silver Lake related to Endeavor or Fanatics? And it'll give you a breakdown of exactly what the break of all of it is. So I'll do some more digging. I'll post a little bit more on my Instagram at Banks Box Busters, because that's part of my card thing, and I'm seeing this as being associated to the card thing and the Fanatics and everything else. So I'm really looking at all the connections to everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Be on the lookout for more stuff. I'll be able to post a little bit more and kind of give you an idea. It's not the normal card stuff that I talk about, but it's going to get to that point because I'm trying to find the connection between Silver Lake and Fanatics and the reasoning for why they're all in bed with each other and how it just looks like everybody's making money hand over fist depending on who's connected to who. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this was informational and you guys do a little bit more research of your own, and tell me what you think about it. If you find out that you're seeing some things that you feel would be a little bit more a little bit suspicious, or if you find something that I might have missed and want to connect the dots a little bit more, then definitely let me know. Take it easy. I'll hope to have more information for you folks later. Have a great day, great evening, great night. If you still have fireworks in the background, that's because it's 4th of July, or at least the ending of 4th of July for most of us. So I'll see you folks later.